Hey there, YouTube. It's me, your boy.
Who are you?
You may not know who I am, and that's okay. So to any newcomers here, or even current subscribers, my name is Akinoro, and in this video, I want to introduce a particular topic with a test to the audience, in putting a certain perspective into frame for a brief understanding of how it can enter our subject. As you viewers may want to get into some likely enjoyable animation, the tone and setting delivers something that requires a certain focus. Before we get into that focus, I will have to give some insight towards the material covered in our video. The series we are reviewing covers a TV-14 rating, which would include contents that are considered mature for some audiences, such as crude humor and partial bodily exposure being at the peak. If this info dissuades you in any way, it can prove that certain series aren't enjoyable to everyone, and you're always free to lose any possible interest we can offer. So with precautions settled, I'll allow you, viewer, to visualize this. There may have been a time in your life where you made a new friend, locally or distant. The friend you've made is fun to be around, a good person who provides company while being quite unique in their own way. The friend has a certain interest they would share to you, something that you don't personally enjoy but can appreciate how it makes your friend happy. The interest they have could likely be something you've been aware of and never indulged in, while passing of time could see this friend and their charm making the interest reach you, with soon becoming a part of something enjoyable. Investing yourself into the material, learning its knowledge and all that's offered. With a current outlook, you must think your friend will be proud to have brought something into your life that you may have never thought of being such an experience.
Now, is that how we met? Well, maybe that's a story for another time.
And for this perspective, this experience, that friend we made was Dagashi Kashi from 2016.
And the interest was snacks! While the program was provided via the wondrous Tubi TV, we came across the series on a particular browse of a day indoors.
Well, back to the categories again. You want to suggest anything in search?
Maybe just browse the homepage. I'll wait for you to pick something.
Never seen you so attached to that phone before.
Oh, I'm just busy checking out my future daughter. Someday, little Ren, I'll buy you yet.
Oh, hey, who's on the screen?
If it's girls revealing outfits, let's skip AC.
It's not, just peer your head up.
Whoa, purple, lavender hair?
I'm just surprised you got your own anime.
What? That's too awesome. We gotta watch this, huh?
Yep, can't be helped, but it's always fun to read the description.
Yeah, let's see. Could she the dreams of becoming famous man goddess and the sex of his father's Dagashi shop? What's a Dagashi?
Ooh, Google it. Maybe it's a cultural thing about the anime.
On it. Dagashi refers to cheap candies and snack foods. Dagashi are comparable to American penny candy. The word Dagashi is derived from the Japanese word gasha. Ah! It is a cultural thing brought to anime.
Alright. We can... Whoa.
What's up?
Are we about to learn something from this? We did. And for you to understand what made the series resonate with us so well, we must first explain what exactly is built towards conclusive entertainment delivered. Holding 2 short seasons, with quite the difference in episode count, the anime gives a binge-worthy range which makes use of its time quite well. No room for anything that we could see as filler. While that can feel comfortable enough, some viewers may see the need to identify just what kind of series they're yet to get into. In Tubi's format, the app gives credit in specifying the series as comedy, which helps when compared to the alternative ways of searching info about similar media online. Now, if you wanted me to be real specific with a viewer genre as an anime enjoyer, I'll also say it can be seen as a slice of life, according to the factors that uphold entertainment value. As these titles seemingly define the series from a larger stance, it's the content found within that can make it ever so enjoyable. And where else can we begin than the significant nesting place of title? Our setting is met with clear skies. Summer days are hot outdoors with lots of activity to enjoy. And while the time spent is up to anyone, we get a look into the Shikida Dagashi, the family business and home of Kokonatsu, a young manga artist in training. In keeping himself attentive to this hobby, he can easily be suggested otherwise by his pal To, who thinks he should enjoy the school break for all it offers. Though this free mangaka may not seem to have much on his mind, his father and manager of the shop, Yo, grows curious of one thing towards his future. As the semblance proves, handing the business down to Kokonatsu. With it being an ever so mindful thought, it's something that's rather debated by father and son. Yo wants to see a successor to their generational living, while his son seeks a separate path in pursuing an art career. Meanwhile, their shop declines in customers quite often, who are usually young children at most. Kokonotsu can't help but be a caring son for hoping the shop can succeed without him, while also giving definite knowledge of what can be done for improvements to the business. Yo can see this as an opportunity to give his son time to handle the shop alone, leaving the boy in an effort to take in his own intellect and experience. It's at this time, however, that a quick spring of change sees a new face enter right away, as a customer Kokonotsu has no knowledge of. A girl, dressed quite exquisitely, whose appearance gives her a look of almost coming right out of the mangaka's drawings.
Yep, that's creepy.
To make an introduction only much more surprising, she shows a familiarity with the business as well. And as she gives reason to seek Yo, this becomes news to Kokonotsu, who easily gets acquainted to his newfound guest, Hotaru Shidere,
aka best girl of Dagashi Kashi,
with her family name being of the Shidere Company, a snack manufacturer known for chocolate and owned by her father. This gives reasoning as to why she seeks relations with the business in truth. As Kokonotsu sees that she would need Yo to arrive back, Hotaru decides to pass the time by giving the boy a test of knowledge. Now this, right here, is where the anime truly shines, in which she quizzes Kokonotsu on the trivial history of a certain snack, Umaibo.
The truth is, this snack is real!
Yep, every single snack that you see in Dagashi Kashi is branded as a real product sold online and of Japan. You could say, hey, that basically makes this anime one big advertisement commercial. But with the kind of quality delivered in animation, it can seemingly go beyond this one perspective, as the products included are given dedicated segments with the help of the cast alongside, showing conventional uses of how to enjoy each snack, accompanied with its details, left reason for me to never fall out of interest. And with this scene, Kokonotsu gave Hotaru a display of his knowledge. Yo returns to find the time was well spent. He then makes a quite formal greeting in giving the girl what she came for, and they become acquainted greatly. Then, in making discussion outside, Yo gets word by Kokonotsu on how Hotaru came around. The girl explains she was to deliver a message of her father's request for him to join the Shidere Company. Kokonotsu is surprised at the opportunity and is glad for a possible success, but Yo decides to simply decline this chance of his own worth. He explains that the shop's semblance is everything to him, but he first wants Kokonotsu to be the next owner of the family business in order for this dad to soon accept the offer. With such information, Hotaru feels Kokonotsu should go for the placement indefinitely, but like always decided, the boy denies his title in wanting separation. She then feels the possible successor must require some convincing to soon make a deal. And with such thoughts, she wants to stay in the area for a good amount of time in order to see Kokonotsu have an eventual change of mind.
While these events give us everything we need to know about Best Girl, they also establish the formulaic ways the series adjusts its direction. From here on out, the setup gives weight to the series layout of what results in the environment presented thus far.
And as the standard seems laid out for the idealism of this artist, he takes time to make a visit to the cozy Cafe Endo, another family business managed by friendly siblings Saya and To. With the current state of Shikada Dagashi relying on his own focus, he doesn't mind being open of the news of Hotaru's visit holding importance. This leads to being coaxed by To when mentioning more about her, where Kokonotsu lets out thoughts of her being a rather kind and pretty girl. Such words bring up a different idealism to Saya in the moment, which comes to show the ways that everyone will have to get adjusted to the new girl in town. Soon on a shopping trip, Saya travels with goods that are worth their usual errand, when she notices something odd straying off the dirt road. A wrecked bike comes into view, with a particular person stuck beside it. They happen to be Hotaru, quite caked in a layer of dirt. As she meets the coffee girl in such a messy state, this can only lead to confusion at large. But such an exchange cannot continue without a proper change of clothes. What does this mean back at Cafe Endo?
Well, go on.
A perfectly healthy clean. Hotaru gets refreshed in a sanitary manner. With this scene the time to balance out proper conversation between both girls, it gives a moment of allowing discussion to be met, answering a few things up front. The least detailed knowledge is Hotaru's reason for falling into such a wreck. She simply got distracted by her ice cream on hand, and couldn't make notice of her surroundings until it was too late. The most detailed knowledge is what amounts to her use of time in the area, where she sees this newfound goal by the Shikada family as part of her ongoing quest. and her only way of acquiring success towards such a task. It is all in the efforts to focus on a deal with her Dagashi shop's successor. Through this, she finds a major commitment is to live in town for a while, which becomes surprising to Saya and the outcome of seeing a new face in her height of summer. The time ahead will mean a forward spin on the kinds of enjoyment everyone will greatly use, and this gives the place called home the addition of a new neighbor who will make it all possible. So that's the start of Dagashi Kashi.
And also the start of something unavoidable.
Yeah, we took liberties in buying a ton of snacks online, but that's all part of the influence it provides. You see, there are reasons why Dagashi Kashi can be enjoyed through many qualities that come to mind, which are able to reach one viewer greatly, or only define that viewer by a small amount. Let's start with the highlight of the series, the promotion of the snacks in their own segments each episode. With the significance of these being part of the series' name, there won't be any stronger reason to uphold the animation. In this manner, the use of snacks usually stays focused on a shop to sell them, which is a particular hotspot locale of audience knowledge, while episodes can range in showing these snacks in other events or locations as separate scenes. They are not merely slowed down and become utilized in a reason to give change and variety to what the series can do, showing exactly how new products can be introduced differently. While our poster girl Hotaru can often give the most lecture on the significance of each consumable, these can come with visual representations of ways to understand each product. Some are told through stories, where surprisingly funny segments generate the laughs we were not expecting. When pieces of candy are shown sentient, it's something that provides a different kind of quality to make a reason in purchasing the item. But if the content itself may not give you the option to try the product right away, you could always wait until the end of an episode for a fun outro as well. Simplified material delivers real footage of some snacks that were part of the animation you just watched, granting a fresh take on seeing the products included through what I believe is of high detail.
Everything is so satisfying.
Next, let's get into the physical support of the series' appeal, which is of course the cast. Through certain ways the animation has brought us enjoyment, I can say these characters make a most comforting experience when applied to an anime that's all about interesting junk food, with the many contents of a show giving it a certain amount of weight to uphold. The characters fit into a settled leveling which applies to an episode format that could be wild fun in my eyes. And even with a marketable face ever so sweet as Hotaru, I believe the entire cast is enjoyable for all their own personalities. You got Kokonotsu, the household artist, taking a good heart to his family values and using his knowledge as a shopkeep to its expected distance. Yo, his gullible dad who does whatever is in his interest to see possible success in his son, and hoping it's towards an agreeable goal. Hotaru, the outsider working to make use of her skills as a connoisseur in snack food, and learning much about the people beside her with every summer day. Saya, the coffee brewer most experienced at spending time around the boys, and finding company in a Dagashi expert who seems to be more sociable than once considered. And To, the fun-going pal who never thought to give reason in learning more about the items he grew up using, and particularly through someone outside of where he calls home. As terminology towards this series may be somewhat unique, it mainly applies to the depth and scope of the entire view you can take in each season, as their limits are rather small by relation to the size and cast and the amount of areas present across town, with the story details of this series being filled by what literally could be called the small things in life. There is significance in the cast who are shown using these small things, making use of the time in their days to enjoy what they have in hand, and displaying the ways in which such items can have so many functions, gimmicks, and general enjoyments to show what the concept of fun truly has in it all.
It's the same reason we made the purchases overall. By the amount of variety the series can make in a fairly small episode span of both seasons, the grand total of products presented in the animation is very impressive for all worth.
Even a single ride of the series can become rather amazing, as we gather the growth of attachment that can certainly touch anyone. Can you imagine just learning knowledge on a certain subject with great art and lovable characters that exist to that property all the while? The added support into an ease of adjustment, particularly in an anime, is very solid and clean. And even as product placement is evidently abundant in the series over all things, many elements alongside of that can make this experience ever so worthwhile. Oh, looks like the delivery truck's here. Alright, so this is it. Box looks sizable enough. Let's get you up and... Oh, holy hell! This thing is heftier than I thought. I don't want to have to drag the darn package, but...
Is that? Ha! Oh. No use struggling with that, neighbor. I got you.
Oh, thank you. I underestimated the weight of this package.
It's understandable. Where do you need this lifted?
I'd like to put it into my car's back trunk if it can fit. Whew. Definitely could have done that myself.
Well, it gives a great workout for me.
I can't help but wanting to thank you again.
It's no problem. You can rely on me for anything.
I'm sorry. I don't seem to know you locally.
Oh, then I suppose you might have not noticed. I'm Silica. I live down the block of your residence. You may have seen a moving truck by your road sometime the last few months.
Ah, I remember now. Me and my housemate haven't made ourselves acquainted ever since.
That's no real deal. I'm fine with taking time for approaches.
Well, my name's Antonio. It's good to meet you after all this time.
I was looking forward to it. Not many people in our block are rather sociable, I assume.
Hey, since you were such a big help, I wouldn't mind you taking a look at what I've got ordered.
That's a bit private, isn't it?
Oh, well, it's individual stuff, and I just think you will be surprised when I don't all that weight.
Hey, these are sweets. Are they Japanese?
Yep, they're natively called Dagashi.
Well, that's pretty awesome. It must be fun indulging in foreign foods. Frankly, I can't say much since, well, we're barely acquainted by now.
So how about you treat yourself to a share?
Oh, no, that's all right. It's your delivery after all.
Nonsense. Judging by the contents, me and my housemate have more than enough for ourselves. And you gave me a helping hand, so being a neighbor makes it even more considerate. Go ahead, treat yourself. Take whatever you feel.
Well, sure. Can't go wrong with a sweet tooth like mine. Oh, there's just so much here.
Capybaras are a type of rodent, but you won't find these guys caught in a mousetrap.
Hey, help me unload this.
It's that time, isn't it?
See for yourself.
No way, this is...
You excited?
I'm gonna eat it all.
So, as we've now covered a lot of the details which shape and mold this series into a great experience, there are some additional appetizing qualities that can be just as enjoyable as the sweets and treats you could yearn for.
But with the whistle!
Such could be an interest in items of the series that are toys and games, products that don't come with anything edible. Or you could be an enjoyer of the visual quality, such as the fantastic Wonderland theme outro that appears from Season 1's second episode onward. But if you've got a certain taste beyond anything else, you could also just be watching for Hotaru, and that's not entirely a bad thing. Overall, I believe Dagashi Kashi has something for everyone, and it's worth viewing for anything I mention around or otherwise. Whoever you are, whatever you're into, I say the show's worth a watch, whether you have that certain sweet tooth or not. Appel? You've been picking out of the box for quite a while. Maybe it's time for bed.
You're too kind in a bar like this.
Am I gonna get sick?
Hi, I hope it's alright that I check in. I wanted to know how you're enjoying the snacks.
Oh, they're great, thanks.
I also wanted to meet a certain someone that I didn't get to see this day. Oh, ho! Hello! It's awesome to finally meet the other girl around. Wow, you're so pretty. That length of hair, so pleasant and clean. I'm Silica, by the way. What's your name?
Dagashi?
Excuse me?
Appel?
Oh, Appel. That's a really cool name. I think this day is a real blessing. For us to have the freedom of meeting each other collectively is beautiful. I could say the snacks were only a small hand in that, because in my eyes, you two look like you'll make for some incredible friends who wouldn't need material things to make me smile.
We're ever so appreciative, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll be heading back home. You two have a good night, and enjoy the rest of your treats.
We will. Bye.
Bye!
She just met you with food all over.
She just met me with food all over my face!